What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Tower of God New World video. Alright guys, one thing I want to talk about today, actually a couple things I want to talk about today, let's be real. Free-to-play account, you guys can see that is my Payneblade YT. So one person has been, well, actually multiple people have been asking me to create a guide for Conquest mode and what the best way to attack it. Now, I will say this, I have done Conquest mode already on this account, so I'll ask my friend Terrorizer if he's done his. If not, I'll do it on his account to show you guys what the best way to max out Conquest mode is. It's actually very important you do that because it's very lucrative. Now, if you look at my auto clear, I can't do it obviously, but I have the full amount of items and amount of like loot you can get in the thing maxed out, like 16 out of 16. Everything's fully maxed out, everything's by the proper turns, and it's fully done. So I will make a video on Conquest mode if my buddy Terrorizer can let me use his account, and if he hasn't done it yet. So that's kind of the second part, right? So that is on its way. Now there's two things I want to talk about. A lot of people are still joining the game and they're loving it. The question almost on everyone's mind though is, hey Payne, if I'm going to play free to play, who do I focus on as my main character for DPS? Because we all know DPS runs things in this game, but there's a lot of things outside of DPS that matter, such as tanking, surviving, healing, buffing, etc., right? But for those who are asking who the best unit to have as your main unit for DPS when you're starting the game off, there's going to be two real big units here that are going to matter. So number one, as most people are aware, the yellow faction or the light faction, whichever one you want to call it, is probably the most dominating faction in the beginning. Okay, and this kind of stays the same pretty well throughout to about stage 16, where you need to then start looking into two teams, right? The main unit that a lot of people complain about but then love when it starts going crazy is going to be Hats. So Hats here is one of the more popular DPS for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a whale, dolphin, minnow, free to play, big spender, small spender, it doesn't matter, no spender at all. Hats seems to be the most dominating DPS in the game for two reasons. Number one, he starts off very squishy. So a lot of people kind of were like, no, he's not that good. But then when you start duping him, right, and you can start getting yourself, now remember, this is completely free to play, just to show you guys real quick. Here's the first buy, has not been touched, right? Completely free to play. When you start duping him, he starts getting different ways of surviving. Not only does his kit allow him to survive with his crit damage bonus, right? Because this crit damage, every time he does that, he gains health back. That's a bonus to have, obviously. But the other part that really makes him shine is going to be when you start duping him and he starts getting HP up, defense up, less damage from purples, etc., right? Hats ends up becoming a one-man army. If you can put proper units around him, like Hoaryun, if you can put in like stall tanks, like Zahard or Daramashini, if you can start putting units around that can keep, like Bomb, who can give him energy quick, Hat starts dominating the entire battlefield. And sometimes will be the only person standing because he's just survivability is crazy. Now, when does that start happening? For the most part, that starts happening roughly when you hit about the red dupes. So right here, you guys can see here, if you go to the actual limit break, it's 4, 5, and 4 for me, right? If you go to pocket certification, usually right around here. This is where you start noticing a really big change in Hat's survivability. So Hats is huge for that. And not only that, but as you go further on, he just starts becoming crazy. Like my buddy Terrorizer has him maxed out, just clears content. It's like putting a hot knife to butter for most opponents, and it's very quick how the results show up. He just dominates. So Hats is big. I do want to point out though, you do want to max out his rapport because you do want the swiftness, you do want the evasion, and you do want the accuracy. All of this matters a lot, guys. You want to max out his proficiency because you want these extra stats here. They all add up quite a bit. I know it seems small at first, but they all add up, right? And then lastly, his weapon here, you do want to focus on this. You do want to try to get it to level 2 and 3 as fast as you can, and it'll make a world of difference for your top DPS. So Hats is the #1 most popular DPS for most accounts. It doesn't matter if you're free to play or pay to win, okay? The second character that a lot of... Let's cover 3 of them, actually, okay? The second character is Wagnanja, another yellow character who actually has the ability to do an insane amount of damage at a very quick pace. it also has the ability to revive once during battle. So he's great for bait, especially. So if you have, like, if you're fighting an Endorsi, you put him in the slot that Endorsi's going to hit. Yeah, he may die, but he'll revive. He'll pull off a special. If you have people clumped together, so if you have like someone like Rachel that can put everyone together, or if you have Evan Kale who can put the vortex and bring everyone in one spot, his ultimate, like his special move, absolutely destroys things, because it's one little circle and it's just a ball going back and forth, and the amount of crit damage and crit you do is unparalleled for damage. So he is one of the best top DPS in the game. So another great way to start. I think Hats is still a little better, but he does have the advantage for the revival part. Hats though is more more locomotive. Like, he can move around a lot quicker, right? And he doesn't stay in one spot for very long, while Wagnanja is a little more susceptible with that. So keep that in mind when you're deciding. Now, the other one I was going to mention is Endorsi. She's actually a really good unit as well for a start off DPS. The only thing to remember though when you're using her is that she does require quite a bit of dupes as well, just like Hats. In order to really shine on the DPS front, she's got better survivability than Hats, because she can go back to the back, heal up, and come back again. And she is a backline disturber, so she will disrupt all people's backlines. So if you're looking for an assassin type class that can bother the backline because you're having problems with, let's say, Mew Love or whoever's in the back, Evan, whoever, she is great for that. And also she stops energy builds for a little while too. So those three are probably going to be some of your top 3 DPS in the game as SSRs. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out for a lot of new players who are asking. Those 3 is what I would go for. Rachel's fantastic as well, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say she's quite on the same pace as the other 3, but she actually might be on par with Endorsi, but requires less build up, so she's really good as well too. So I don't want to take that away from her. But those are, I would say, let's just say those 4 are probably your best free to play units to start with for DPS. In terms of support, there's a lot. Hwaryun is amazing. She's red. You have Bomb, who's incredible. You get him for free. You've got yourself Kun, who's a great CC and debuffer. You got Nare, who's amazing. So there's a lot of different options. Loziel, if you don't have Evan, for healing. And then there's incredible SRs out there. If you haven't checked out my SR video, go check that out, okay? So I want to point that out real quick. Now, I have hit 1221. The second part of this video, we're going to do a quick summon as well, is essentially... Sorry, guys. This is itchy. The second part of the video is after what happens after 1220. So you actually unlock a brand new mode in Expedition under mock trial here that's called Underground Laboratory. And essentially what happens is you'll fight a specific unit. You can see here it goes between Data Kun Machini and it goes to Data Zahard. You fight them in this like battle just like mock trial, and as you fight them you'll increase your damage or get damage, and you'll be graded based on how much damage you do. So you can see here I did 588 and 462. I have 3 attempts left, so I'm holding off, okay? Now what the ranking does is it gives you a specific amount of rewards based on your rank, and then you'll get yourself these new little tokens, okay? So let me see here. Where are they? Where do I find these again? Let me go back into... try to remember where to find this. Sorry, guys. I think it's in here somewhere. Is it here? No, it's not in here. Where is that? Control Center? There we go, Research Lab. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Research Lab. So the worst part about this is when you first start off and you unlock 1220, you get yourself 150 of these tokens, and they forcefully make you use it here on the Fisherman Research, which actually isn't bad, to be honest, because you have Endorsi here and you have Wang Nanja and Data Zahard. So if you plan to use them as your main, you're kind of okay for that. Now, they don't give you the refund for the 300 Suspendium, which is stupid. They should give you that back because it's a trial. They forcefully make you do it for the tutorial. They should give you that back to get the 150. Now, if you're going to run hats, you really, really want to max out this one over here, the Scout one, because this here is going to give him 3.9% HP, 3.9% attack, I believe, if I think that's correct. 3.7% attack and 3.9% defense. So it's a fairly massive boost. So this is why you want to unlock 1220 as quickly as you possibly can, because when you start getting these research tokens here, they're going to boost up the actual class that you plan to level up fairly high. Now you can see here though it does drop after the first one, right? If you look here, HP only goes up by the next one to 0.6. This one probably go down to like 0.4 and 0.6 if I recall correctly. I haven't seen anyone further, but look, everyone here is 3.9, 3.8, 3.7. So depending on the class, some stats will be higher than others. This is very important, guys. So make sure when you unlock this, you go back into your actual mock battle facility and you push as far as you can with the underground laboratory. Now, to get some idea on some good teams, you can literally look at the top players who are there and see what they're running on rankings and see if you can mimic it. Now, you're not going to do something like Answer, who has a 160 million account. You know what I mean? No one's going to do the damage he does, but it's not a bad thing to kind of look at how he set up his team and what he's running and kind of mimic it. Or if you want something a little more free to play friendly, look around and see what these other guys have done, right? Because you can go all the way down to the bronze and you can see what the guy above you did, just to kind of get an idea of where their damage is at, right? So you can see here, for example, let's just use this guy. He's running a very similar team to what I did. So there you go. And then you go above and above and above, and you keep going to see what the next ranked people did, and then you can get a general sense of who you should be using to do this kind of damage. Now remember, this is not like mock trial where you can reset. If you reset, you will lose an entire turn, okay? You do get 5 turns though a week, so take advantage of it, use all 5, get some RNG in there, and you might be able to do some pretty crazy damage unexpectedly. Alright guys, this is Payne, hope the video helped. 1220 unlocks this, push for it guys, focus on your main DPS. Before we go, let me just do this real quick. Let's just see if I have any luck today. Yeah, it'll make a world of difference for you and your account if you guys can push for that to skyrocket your damage, your HP, and survivability. Again, giving Hat more of what he needs, giving Wang Nanja more of what he needs, and also giving other units that you plan to use in that category or oh please come on, nothing? Okay, so nothing. We're gonna skip this. In that class category, more boost for damage, survivability, and overall stats, right? So make sure you do that. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. Conquest mode video will come out very soon. I'll talk to my buddy to see if he has it available. If he does, I'll manually do it for you guys so you guys can see how to cover it and what the best way to do conquest mode is for maximum loot. All right, guys, talk to you in the next one.